Good morning, traders. So how do we trade the DAX today? Well, unfortunately, it is still more downside. So we did have a bit of a bullish bar, but we've broken below the tail of that bullish bar. So that is off, and this is another reason why when you see price action like this, you're looking for a confirmation bar. Normally what I'd be looking for is a close above it, sort of a close above the top of the bar on the daily, and then look at the next day for an entry. So this hasn't planned out. This is still continuing to the downside, and I'm more than convinced now that we should at least see a measured move of something like that. So we should be looking at 10,840. I'm just going to shoot across to the left here. Let's do this on the weekly. And you can see that starts to line up pretty nicely with this inside tail here, and then there's another inside tail there. Okay, so this head and shoulders are starting to look more and more likely, and it doesn't even look like we're going to get a pullback to test a break. Okay. Now the key thing here is that we have, sorry, let's just finish this chain of thought. So the head and shoulders target is 9749. Okay, so basically what we're talking about here is a 3,700 point fall from the high. That's almost 30%, so almost a crash. Okay, so let's get rid of that and let's get down to the 4 hour. Yeah, so there's nothing really that is happening at the moment. We did have a consolidation area that was broken through. So you can see this was our consolidation area, and we've closed below. So the US markets were down massively. The S&P was down 3% yesterday. So this is already factored. That's already factored into this. So you would expect us to open somewhere in this area, but there isn't a level where we are opening. Let's just head to the right just to double check on the 4 hour. Sorry, head to the left, not right. Okay, we do have gaps here. So let's just put that in. So we've got a gap there. This one can be fine-tuned to there. Actually, just a little bit below. Okay, so we do have two gaps here. 1074 and 10985. Okay, so I would expect at least this gap to close, if not the bottom gap below, and then you look to the left and you can see all this congestion here, and I can also sort of look at that. So this area here is definitely going to attract some bulls. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It attracted them in the past, and look at how they saw this area as being the area of value for a pretty long extended period of time. So August, October, November. So almost 3 months that we just sat here in this range before breaking out. So, you know, I suspect that we are going to find some value in the same area. Maybe today, maybe later, but we do have a measured move. So measured move takes us pretty much down to the bottom here of 1080. So that's kind of the area that I'd be looking at to see what's going to go on. Okay, so for now, probably more downside. Don't know if we're going to gap down. It may just go sideways as well, because we had a pretty strong move down in the US markets yesterday. So it may just sort of meander sideways until the US Open to see what's going to happen there. So in other words, for me, I'm still not really interested in the DAX. There's nothing here that's showing me, how do I put it? There's too many mixed signals for me, according to my trading rules. So I'll just rather stay out of it. I'm not too phased. If I'm missing out on a move, I'm waiting for proper setup, which I can trade properly and add to the position. Okay, I make a lot more money that way than trying to trade the intraday swings. It's just, especially with the volatility at the moment, it's just insanely, how do I put it? It's insanely stressful, and I've decided to eradicate stress from my life anyway. So yeah, so that's kind of the view that I can see at the moment. Probably a little bit of downside. It's probably not going to be as sharp as it was towards the close last night, but definitely a continuation to the downside. But watch these levels. Watch 11,985, watch 10,800, and watch 10,740. So this 10,740 area, I said I'm probably going to put an alert in here. So if the price does get down to here, then I want to have a look at price action on a half-hour time frame. Okay, so yeah, I think the other thing to point out is, okay, the day before was very much looking like a double bottom, and you can see how that failed. And we also had Bollinger double bottoms that were also in place, but yet again that failed on the DAX, and it's happened so many times this year. So it's almost as if there are institutions out there that are waiting for these patterns to appear and then trading in the opposite direction of them. And it's been happening the whole year on the DAX. Okay, so we still do have diversions here. Okay, there is diversions. We have a trend line. We've got a potential wedge forming. But let's just have a look at the Ichi quickly. Nothing really to write home on the ichimoku, except we're in a solid downtrend. Okay, so yeah, I think I'll just sit and wait this one out. Watch those levels to the downside if you are going to trade this. Could be a potential sideways motion until the US Open, and then anything can happen. So be careful, keep those stops tight, and enjoy your day. Anyway, I'll catch up with you guys later. Cheers for now.